Representative Lori Trahan joining us, a Democrat from Massachusetts and Democratic Policy and Communications Committee co-chair. Representative Trahan, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
I just wanted to start with you on since you serve on the Energy and Commerce Committee and on Subcommittee on Health, Commerce, Manufacturing and Trade and Oversight and Investigations. It's very long. I wanted to start with Crypto Week. Can you explain what that is and what should we expect to be seeing?
Yeah, so I think that there is a lot of bipartisan agreement that there needs to be rules of the road for cryptocurrency. I mean, this is an industry that is going to be here to stay. And everybody I talk to expects Congress to come up with guardrails, making sure that we're promoting innovation in this sector while also protecting working class families from, the scams that might take place in a new and emerging industry. And so this is a week where, we'll be taking up a couple pieces of legislation. I know that there are many folks who have concerns about really putting in the guardrails so that we can avoid financial instability or systemic risks. Making sure that we have consumer protections in place so that these laws are enduring and they're helpful in promoting cryptocurrency. And so I think you're going to see a lot in the coming days around these two bills.
You are the only former Division I woman athlete in Congress. You played volleyball for Georgetown University. Yeah. Well, today the Energy and Commerce Subcommittee will be marking up a bill, a college sports bill called the SCORE Act. Can you tell us what's in that and if you support that?
Well, thank you for bringing it up. As a former college athlete, I know how important college athletics is to communities big and small across our country. Certainly when I suited up to play volleyball, it was with tremendous pride, and it's just really been great to see how athletes have stood up for expanding their rights. That's not because conference commissioners or the NCAA has given those rights to them. They've really had to fight tooth and nail to make sure that they have fair treatment, that they have health and safety measures. And so this is a first step at marking up a bill that right now is not meeting the moment in terms of athletes' rights and giving them a solid voice at the table. I think there's a lot of bipartisan agreement for strengthening Title IX and making sure women have access to more opportunities in sports, closing loopholes so that international athletes have rights to NIL, as well as making sure that we do extend more health and safety measures, because players are putting their bodies on the line every single day, and they should have the ability to make sure that their health and safety is always paramount and central. So right now this bill that we're marking up falls short of that, giving more clout to the NCAA and to the conference commissioners, and I want to make sure that we're keeping athletes at the center of this conversation and at legislation that's due to pass.
And the trans athletes, biological males playing in women's sports was a big part of the last presidential campaign. As a female athlete yourself, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, look, the president has already signed an executive order. There has been legislation that has passed. What I tried to do during that debate was really center on where the college sports is failing women, and that's denying roster spots to women to pursue playing the sports at the colleges that they dream about. Right now, there's no enforcement at the Department of Education to make sure that women aren't denied opportunities to play sports. I mean, that's really the issue with Title IX. And so I don't think that this debate is going to center on transgender women playing in sports. That's been decided, by this Congress, and in a very lopsided way. But still, this is going to focus on, are players going to be set up so that they can continue to advocate for their rights? Are they going to have a voice at the table that is equitable with the other voices at the table in terms of their future and the college ecosystem? And I want to make sure that whatever legislation passes, whatever we're debating, we're keeping athletes, women and men, at the collegiate level at the center of that debate, and not just the sports executives who are making money off of their hard work.
I want to ask you about the One Big Beautiful Bill that the president signed into law. I know that you're a supporter of abortion rights.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what impact you think the bill might have on Planned Parenthood funding?
It's going to be a disaster for Planned Parenthood. When you take Medicaid funding away from Planned Parenthood, that means women aren't going to be able to get cancer screenings. They're not going to be able to get their prenatal care. That is going to be disastrous for women. I mean, look, we're already living in a post-Roe world where women are having trouble accessing life-saving care, to have a baby, to just get basic care in many rural communities, and this just makes it worse. So, this is not one big beautiful bill for women. It's a disaster for women. I think it's deeply unpopular across the country because of the fact that this care, this vital resource that women have relied on for decades, is being ripped away.
As you know, the president made an announcement yesterday about Ukraine and about selling American weapons to NATO that would then go to Ukraine. What was your reaction to that? Do you think that that's a welcome development? What would you say?
Yeah, so as someone who went to the border of Ukraine 5 weeks after the invasion in 2022, I made a promise to Ukrainians and our allies on the ground, as did the Republicans that I was with, that we were going to stand with them in their fight for freedom and their fight against this unnecessary aggression by Vladimir Putin. This is a welcome movement by the president to live up to that obligation and to that promise that we made to the courageous Ukrainian people. I wish it had come a lot sooner. For too long, this administration has been trying to engage Putin, who has no interest in ending this war. And I think it's time that the United States really be strong in our support of the Ukrainian people in fighting for their freedom and ensuring that tyrants like Vladimir Putin don't get their way.
The president said that he would impose severe tariffs on Russia in 50 days if peace wasn't reached. Do you think that that's a credible threat?
Well, I hope so. I mean, we've heard a lot of talk from this administration. There's been a lot of delay tactics, we're working on a deal. I hope that that's a real deadline that we can take to the bank with this administration, because I think it's really important that we get tough on Putin and make sure that they're doing their part to stop this war and to stop this aggression.
And that's Representative Lori Trahan, Democrat of Massachusetts, member of the Energy and Commerce Committee and Democratic Policy and Communications Committee co-chair. Thanks so much, Representative, for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.